Greeting farmers, welcome to Pwani Poultry Farm. And on my background here we have broilers. These are Cobb 500 broilers. That's the breed. And then they are 1 day old. So I'm going to take you through step by step on how to prepare a brooder. A brooder is a place where you take care of the day-old chick. How to prepare that thing, because that is number one thing as a poultry farmer or as a new farmer. You have to ensure you get right. So stay with me on this video. You learn a lot of things. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure you do and share. You stay updated. I'll be posting on videos to educate tree farming. So welcome. Here we have a brooder. It's circle in nature. As you can see, it's circle because we really don't want our chicks to squeeze themselves in one corner in case of blackout. You know, in case of blackout, the chicks tend to squeeze themselves in one corner. That will result into suffocation, and we will lose birds on the way. And we really want to play with low mortality here. We just need to lose no bird over here. Okay, so this is bedding. This is sawdust. Actually, you can find it at nearest carpentry. And by the way, you really need to have this every time at your farm, probably one of your stores, because man, the heartbreaks that comes along when you are time to change your bedding is ready and you don't have sawdust. It's so hectic. Okay, so you have to lay that properly. Like, you have to make sure that it's distributed evenly, just like the way I'm doing over here. It's an exercise, yes, because it's cumbersome process. And at the end of the day, you need to have something like this. Now, this is bedding. It's a brooder that has bedding well. And then the most important thing, disinfecting. As always, I have always stayed so vigilant on disinfection of the chicken coop, and I bet it's one of the reasons as to why we survive, because we raise our birds free from synthetic antibiotic, that we are so keen on the biosecurity. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. It's always better to prevent disease from going in your chicken coop than treating the actual disease. So you disinfect, take your time disinfecting the whole thing like that. And then laying of brooder papers. So for our case, we use old newspapers as our brooder paper, and they have two roles. One role is to absorb moisture, and another role is to prevent our birds from pecking the sawdust you are seeing over there, because it's a chick. I mean, it only knows how to peck. So once you place here, if it's a day old and it doesn't know the difference between a feed and a sawdust, so it might tend to peck the sawdust. Actually, it's a very bad practice for your chicks to peck on the sawdust, because it's not digested. So this will lead to constipation. So you really don't need your chicks to peck on the beddings. That's why you have to cover them up with these old newspapers. As Rashid was finishing on that one, I was here lighting up the jiko. I use charcoal. This might not be the best way to brood, but this is the only way I'm currently have. So I light up my jiko. It's very expensive. I use 2 jikos for the case, so I have to make sure that they are filled with the charcoal, because they are going to provide warmth. Because the chick has not developed feather by itself, I have to provide a source of warmth. I have to keep them warm, and this is what will keep them warm. Yes. So now we are done. After doing that, we are taking in our jiko as a source of heat. Yes, there is a temperature that's required by the chick. And then at the end of the day, you need to have something like this. And by the way, you have to do every preparation that I'm doing 6 hours before arrival of the chick. You have to ensure that the brooder is preheated well. By that, I mean the floor is also warm, because a chick needs to be there. It needs not to feel any cold. For that reason, we need to close the ventilations. They're not ventilation as such, but we need to close them down to prevent direct wind from going inside our chicks. Having clean drinkers, it's one thing that you need to embrace as a farmer, because when you have clean drinkers, when you have clean water for the chickens and the chicks, they are going to have the best results. So for us, for the chicks, we normally add this chick start. And by the way, I'm in Mombasa, Kenya. I have received the chicks all the way from Nairobi. It's over 500 kilometers from where my farm is. So to overcome that stress caused by temperature fluctuations, the transport from their brooder, from their incubator, which is maybe at Nairobi, to my brooder here in Mombasa, to overcome the handling stress and the change of environment stress, there is this water here that contain chick start that they are going to drink in the next 2 hours after their arrival. So after the chicks arrive here, no feed is introduced. They are going to drink this water that contains chick start for the next 2 hours, and then I'll introduce feed after 2 hours. And finally, our chicks are here, but first you have to disinfect before going into the farm. And again, before touching the birds, you have to disinfect. So our birds are already inside our brooder. So now we count them as we place them near the drinker for them to find water easily, because red is a short wavelength color, and it's easy for the chicks to recognize color red or yellow. So as we count, you have to make sure that you get the right number of the chicks that are going inside. This will help you in record keeping, very important aspect in farming. So you continue to offload your chicks, distributing them near to the water point. And for a moment, listen to these melodious sounds made by this. Forget about the dog. But isn't it therapeutic? Answer on the comment section. After offloading our chicks, as normal, we are recording the number of chicks we have received, the state of the chicks, the company from which we have received the chicks from, the date. And now the chicks are going to stay in this brooder to drink the water for 2 hours. The water that contains. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do hit the notification button and share. And after 1 hour, I'm here again disinfecting my hands before checking for water crop fill. I will do another video to show how you check for water crop fill after 1 hour. It should be around 70%, like 70% of your chicks need to have found water, and if it's less than that, you should ask yourself, and that's why you need to give them 2 hours, because after 2 hours we are pretty sure that 100% of the chicks will have found water. And after 2 hours we are here with our feed. So we measure 3 kgs for the first time. This is a tray feeder. It's so open, the chick can peck so easily. So I have to ensure that I measure 3 kgs, because for the record, yeah, everything you need to record. For you to know whether you're making profit or you're making loss, you need to put records. You need to record everything that you do at the farm. So after ensuring I have the right quantity, I like splashing the feed in the brooder for 2 reasons. Number 1, so that the chick cannot struggle to find the food, or rather the feed. Number 2, the sound that is made when you splash the feed on the brooder paper, which for our case we have the old newspaper, is just wonderful. It's like it's reminding them that you have to feed. There is a sound that is made by that. It entices the birds to start pecking. That's how you introduce feed to them. And as you can see, they are really enjoying, and some of it we have put the feed on the tray feeders. It's so open, and some of them we are splashing, but splashing of feed should not last for more than 2 days. Yeah, after that the chicks will know where to find the feed. And basically, when you want to go inside the brooder, I don't advise you to use gumboots, because you might step on these tiny little birds. So finally we are done, and we are going to wait for 2 hours before doing the crop fill for feed. This is to ensure that the chicks have found feed. So comment on this comment section below. Tell me which field of broiler should I touch in my next video. So welcome, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, hit the notification button so you can be notified every time I post a video.